talking about the compensation plan without mentioning the core of Sisel International, which are these core elements you see here on the screen: the science, innovation, success, energy, longevity, and of course, the company founded 6-7 years ago by the Mowers, specifically to create the most scientifically advanced products possible using natural ingredients and only using ingredients that have been already proven by science. And that's why we kick this thing off by saying trust science, trust Sisel. You don't have to take my word for it. But as they've gone in and they've created from scratch in a debt-free way, they've created a 400,000 square foot manufacturing facility to make these products. I believe over 200 in catalog now, and has continued on in this family-owned venture to make safe natural ingredients. It's only logical that the payouts and the compensation and the financial opportunity match, the prowess of what they've created with the plant and with the science and with the products that we sell. So I really can't, leave that out. I have to mention that, and as many of you know, toxin-free products is what we're about. And then there's so many things that we can replace in our own homes. All it takes is showing someone a conventional toothpaste, have them read the warning on that toothpaste, and suggest that they use Super Shine, that does not have a warning, encouraging you to call Poison Control Center. So I just want to make sure that this whole thing is Sisel International is 100% a result of these gentlemen's 30-year mission to bring toxin-free products to the world. And why are we doing a separate coffee plant than the one that we have going with the rest of the Sisel products? Well, magic happens, when you combine the Mowers and the plant and a little connection we now have with Panama, and then these same medicinal extracts that we're able to put in the Chaga, the Ganoderma, the Gotu Kola, and the Bacopa. We're able to make this high-end coffee, and so many people drink coffee right now that it really makes sense to have it as its own company, if you want to think about it that way. And the great thing is that we've included some wonderful perks for Sisel International distributors that are using all the other products we create that you saw on the previous slide on a day-to-day basis. So we are looking at two separate compensation plan structures, and the beauty of it is you can max both out with a very reasonable investment. And when you max both out, you're literally getting two big checks coming in on the monthly. You're getting 2 sets of weekly payouts coming in. You're getting 2 sets of car bonuses. You're getting 2 sets of infinity bonuses. And of course, on the Sisel side, we also have a fast start retention bonus and a check match. So now, why do we do this? Why do we get into the coffee? Well, it's for no other reason. I gave the example of the toothpaste, and toothpaste is toxic. The conventional brands out there are toxic. We have a safe toothpaste. Coffee is no different. Who knows what you're getting out there with the coffee, and everybody's drinking it. And the Mowers wanted to treat the coffee just as they treated shampoo and as they treated the toothpaste and everything else we make, where we only wanted to use the best ingredients possible. We wanted to make it affordable, but yet still rewarding on the financial side. And that's where we're at today. Here we have our wonderful Sisel Kaffe compensation plan. And I do want to make an announcement that what I'm sharing today is the most updated version of this. There may have been some other information out there, maybe rough draft type documents or presentations. And I just want to verify and say to you that this is the updated version. So if you see some things on today's webinar that you haven't seen yet or are a little different from what you've seen in the last couple of weeks, please refer to this as that you see here, maybe someday, but we're not going to exaggerate, and we're not going to tell you you're going to have $1 million in your pocket tomorrow. Okay, what we do care about is just steady growth and building teams in a way that you can get true residual payout and take care of your financial needs, get out of debt, spend more time with your family, enjoy the help you're getting from all the products that Sisel International makes. Pay off your house, whatever it might be. Can that lead to the yacht and the high-end lifestyle? Sure, it can. And we have distributors all over the world that have really maximized these payouts that can be had from both plans we're going to talk about today. But I don't want to leave out the fact that it does take hard work. It takes dedication, and it takes understanding how the payouts work, making sure that you're not exhausting your efforts in the wrong areas. So hopefully we cover some of those things today as well. But our goal is to help you experience a lifestyle change, and whether that's an extra $200-300 a month to pay some bills, to make a car payment, or that's an extra $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month to really do BB 100% free. That's what we're about. And Mr. Aaron Rennert, our vice president, he often goes into is money good or bad? And we can say it's not necessarily a good or bad thing, but what more money does is it creates choices. So that's what we want to do. We want to be able to create additional choices for everyone involved at Sisel International and for everyone interested in improving their health. Okay, so let's get into the coffee payouts, and it's important to understand, and this is valid for both plans, the bonus weeks. We want to understand when our money comes to us and how we qualify for it. And so I always just do this little quick explanation of explaining how Sisel breaks up the month. We split the month up into 4 bonus weeks. Week 1 is always, and I mean always, we're phenomenal at this, spotless track record of paying people on time. Week 1 is the 1st to the 7th. Week 2 is the 8th to the 14th. Week 3 is the 15th to the 21st. And week 4 is the 22nd to the end of the month. So what does that mean? That means that when we talk about certain payouts being on a weekly basis, anything that was earned in week 1 will get paid 2 business days after week 1 ends. So week 1 ends on the 7th. Assuming there's no weekend or holiday there, you would get paid on the 9th. And it's simple as that, and we do that each and every single month. It's not a Monday through Sunday or a Sunday through Saturday calendar week. It's literally using these dates, the 1st to the 7th, the 8th to 14th, 15th, 21st, 22nd to the end of the month. With certain commissions, like our Fast Start bonus, where we say if you make a 50 PV purchase, we'll talk about that, it will qualify you for the current week you're in and then the following 3 weeks. So 4 total weeks. We're talking about these bonus weeks. So if let's say I buy $50 of coffee on week 3, it will qualify me to receive Fast Start bonus on anyone that joined my group on week 3 and week 4 and week 1 of the following month and week 2 of the following month. If I don't reorder on week 3 of the following month, I'm not going to be eligible to receive Fast Start bonus on enrollments from that week. And we want to make sure everybody understands this, because the last thing we want to do is have you miss a commission by a day or two. And our customer service team is very good at working with you and helping explain this. And when we can, we'll make things up for you and try to make it work out. But where the commission is paying out on a global scale, we need to catch it right at the end of the week, so we can, if we're going to make any adjustments. But again, the weekly payouts come 2 business days after the end of these bonus weeks. Okay, and very, very important information. The commissionable month is simply the entire month, from the 1st to the end of the month. And all the commissions that pay out monthly are based on volume and qualifications generated within that calendar month. Okay, simple as that. And we we always pay our monthly commissions before the 15th of the following month. Now, we do need those extra days. It's usually 10 to 12 days that we need to make sure everything's calculated out correctly, that there are no mistakes, that everyone's being paid. They're supposed to be in 140 countries right now, so you can imagine the work that goes on behind the scenes in our finance department and in our computer programming department, those types of things, to make sure that this thing is flawless. And it's similar in other companies where the month ends, and then by the 15th, it's usually around the 12th to 13th, actually, with Sisel. You will get your monthly pay. It will not be after the 15th. We do all we can to never make you wait longer than that 2-week period. That's how commissionable payouts come in. That's when they happen. Just want to make sure that's clear. Now on to the volumes that we track. Personal volume is very, very important. PV, personal volume, it's simple. It's used for qualification, with the exception of one product and our apparel and things that don't have a business value to it. And the one product would be on the Sisel side of TSX. The PV essentially represents the dollar amount you spent, with the one exception, of course. It's for qualification. It's for the purchaser. You, as a Sisel distributor, want to know where your PV is and what level of PV you want to be able to reach the different milestones, to be able to be paid at a certain level, and to be able to max out what the plan will pay you if you qualify correctly. So that's PV, personal volume. That's what we use to track the total downline volume, or DV, that will essentially help you hit ranks, so on and so forth, and track the largeness, the size of your entire group. So that's what we use. We just add up the PV from everyone's account in your group, and that's what you see as the downline volume number. Bonus volume is used to pay out commissions and bonuses. So every product will have a PV, which again, at 99% of the time represents the dollar amount in the United States, and then the bonus volume will represent the amount that we're using to base commissions off of. And in the U.S., if I'm talking Sisel and coffee, most of our products, 90% plus of our products, have the same PV as BV. As you venture out into other markets, you start seeing more of a split. And that's simply to cover shipping costs, to cover legal costs. It's very common in this industry to have the two numbers. Some companies call it the CV, or commissionable volume. We call it the BV, or bonus volume. Okay, it's important to look at our back office order catalog and see what products are exactly the same, what products are different. Since we're going into the coffee here, I do want to point out that the coffee BV is about 80% of the price. So you get the $19 on the box of instant black, and you'll notice the BV, and it will give you 19 PV, personal volume. The bonus volume is 15. So when commissions pay out, it's based on that $15 amount, not the $19 amount that you paid. So we always point this out. It's not something that we keep behind curtains, and it's very clearly marked in your online order catalog when you go in and make a purchase. Okay, and the BV does vary from market to market, like I said, depending on costs, and it varies sometimes from product to product. Just again, manufacturing costs. I mentioned the TSX is one of the examples where it's the BV and PV is very different from all the other products, and the price is higher than most of our products, and that's just simply because of the ingredients and the process that we're using to make the TSX. So we do what we can to make it as affordable and as economically friendly to you as possible. But again, when used in the business setting, you want to be familiar with the bonus volume so that you can know what your downline is going to pay you as they purchase their products. Okay? So going into the coffee, first stream of income I'm going to talk about today is the distributor to be eligible to get Fast Start bonus, they have to be qualified as what we call bronze, or qualified at the 50 PV level. Okay, it's very important to have that qualification in the current week or in the previous 3 weeks to be eligible at the moment for Fast Start bonus. For someone in your downline, a new distributor, a new enrollment, if you will, to generate the Fast Start bonus to you, that purchase, the new distributor purchase has to also be at the 50 PV level or higher. And by purchase, what I'm saying is and I apologize for that. What I'm saying is the new distributor has to have 50 PV in that bonus week for it to generate a Fast Start bonus payout to the sponsor. And you may ask, well, why do we do that? Well, there's really not much point coming in as a distributor if you're not at least qualifying at the bronze level. So you do want to encourage your new distributors to have at least a 50 PV minimum qualification. If they're not interested in doing the business, that's great. They can enroll as a preferred customer. And a preferred customer will pay out Fast Start bonus on any amount. So there's no 50 minimum that they have to purchase for you to get a weekly commission. They can just buy a box of coffee, and it will pay you the next week, okay, this 45%. Speaking of preferred customers, it's just simply someone that wants to buy the product and not use the business building aspect of it. They're not interested in earning commissions. We do have a program on the Sisel side where customers can receive a 20%, essentially 20% in points. That program does not happen in the coffee side. What this allows us to do here is to actually pay that full 45% to you on all the customers. And with coffee, we're going to see a lot more customers because literally everybody's drinking coffee these days. They're going to be very interested in what the coffee has to offer. The other great perk to having customers in your group is that their PV counts as if it was yours. So when we're talking about all these qualifications of 50 PV, and we'll talk about the 200 level being very important here in a minute, it's important to know that preferred customer purchases that you have personally enrolled, they will count as your PV. Now you don't just get a free ride. I mean, you do have to purchase yourself. But for some of these higher qualifications, you can definitely count preferred customer volume towards your PV qualifications for the week or for the month. So hopefully that makes sense. The word PV, preferred customer volume, counts as if it was yours. Okay. Moving on to the right side of the slide here, you'll notice that there is an additional 45% that goes up to the enrolling sponsor of the enrolling sponsor, and that's just a kind of a team building perk where as you bring people in and they bring people in, you're getting some weekly commissions off of that second level, or generation in this case, because it's following the enrollment tree. Also, Fast Start bonus fully compresses. So, let's say in this example, Joe was not eligible for Fast Start bonus, meaning he did not place an order of 50 PV, or he didn't have 50 PV counting towards him in the last 4 bonus weeks. That 5% would roll up to the next person eligible in the enrollment sponsor tree. Also, the 45% would do the same thing. If you're not eligible for it, it would roll up. So we're excited here at Sisel to always announce that compression is in full effect with our weekly and monthly payouts. There's very few exceptions to that. So that's Fast Start bonus. Moving on to the direct distributor commission. After someone has been with Sisel for 4 bonus weeks, and I do need to point out that Fast Start period from the first purchase they make in coffee, that's where week 1 starts. Let's say it's the 12th. That week 1 will last the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Then the 15th will begin week 2, like I showed you in the earlier graphic there. So the Fast Start period will be the bonus week they're in when they make their first purchase. And please note, it's not the enrollment date per se. It's the actual first purchase. And then the following following 3 bonus weeks after the one that they came in on. Once that period is over, all their purchases are going to go into this structure that you see here. It's called our direct distributor commission. This is the true residual payout. You'll notice that on the Fast Start bonus, you had to go out and meet a new person and help them, get introduced to Sisel Kaffe, buy some coffee, and then you got paid. This is representing their second, third, fourth, and subsequent month's orders. So what's cool about this, it's a true residual. You're getting paid on the efforts you made the first time over and over and over and over again. And the percentages are as you see here. So let me explain this. The 50 PV minimum qualification is the bronze level. And you want to be at that level to at least receive Fast Start bonus. Okay? It also entitles you to a set of percentages for this residual or direct commission I'm talking about. That is the lowest level of monthly payout is the bronze. As you move up to silver, gold, and then platinum, you'll notice that those percentages go up. Platinum maxes out the direct distributor commission. That's 200 PV. Okay, again, you do need to have a purchase in there, and you can rely on for customer points to reach that 200 PV level. I'll note at this time, even though we haven't gone into the other plan yet, the other Sisel products, if you're platinum in the Sisel plan, you only need 50 PV in the coffee to be able to max out at the platinum level in the coffee. So I'll just mention this right now for those of you that are doing the Sisel products. If you're already doing 200 a month in Sisel, don't freak out. You don't need to do 400 a month, but with a 250, just adding 50 PV of coffee to your Sisel auto purchase, you can go ahead and qualify at the platinum level in both plans. So that's a nice perk for current Sisel distributors. And the gold here really isn't that bad. It's only 1% less. The silver is 1% less than the gold. So if you're not able to reach that 200 level, I would recommend at least shooting for the silver level, where you're still getting a very generous payout at the 3 and 8%. But it's the platinum that's key. And I'm going to mention a few things here on this coffee rollout, this compensation plan, that I have a few announcements to make, where the platinum is going to be very, very important. Now let me explain the legs that you see here. On what we consider a qualified leg is simply a distributor leg that's tied to you. It's a separate leg from the other ones, where there's at least a distributor doing 50 PV a month, qualifying bronze for the month. So if you have one distributor qualifying at 50, that would qualify that leg as a qualified leg. So you need 1 to 3 of these, which could be 3 people, could be 300 people. It just depends how the leg goes up to you. We're talking about 3 separate legs or lines, that you have a distributor doing 50 PV of coffee. Okay, that would be a qualified leg. So from day one, with just one person, you've shared coffee with one person doing 50, you now have 4 levels of pay available to you on this direct commission. And that's really great. As you build your team and it starts to grow, and you're going to be a little wider, you're going to be a little deeper, you want to make sure you have 4 qualified legs the minute you start thinking you're going to have people in your 5th level, because that's what allows you to get paid on the 5th level. And you want to have 5 qualified legs to make sure you're getting paid on the 6th level. You have to do this from day one. No, you don't. You can start with 5 from day one if you know 5 people, and you have this requirement knocked out. You can get paid 6 levels deep. One thing we're also going to introduce in this explanation is the idea of having frontline platinum distributors. announcements that we're able to make today. So hopefully that makes sense. And really, let me point out this direct distributor commission. This is where the big check comes from. When you hear about people making 10, 20, 40, 50, and we do have people making 100,000 a month and more, this is where the big check comes from. So you want to definitely build your organization in a way that has as much volume as possible in the first 6 levels, okay? If I was doing this, I'd want at least 5 people on level 1, so I'm fully qualified for the payouts here. Maybe I have 6 or 7 just to make sure I cover my bases on level 1, but then everything else is going to be on levels 2 through 6. And maybe, I'm even hesitant to put too many people into level 5 and 6 because if they're tied to me, I want, when they start growing their groups, I want those groups to be within the 6 levels as well. Now, as people bring people, and then they bring people, and they bring people, sure, it's going to go well beyond level 6. But you want to do all you can as the team builder, as the leader, to make sure that you're recruiting and you're sharing Sisel Kaffe with people, and you're helping people in levels 2, 3, and 4 to really build their groups so that the majority of your volume is in these first 6 levels. That's going to ensure a very, very high return on the total volume of your group. It's also going to make you happy because you're going to get a much bigger check. These are the good percentages. I can't stress that enough. With the Sisel plan, this is the same thing goes, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. So here's the good announcement. Maybe you've heard this already, but we are introducing ranks to the Sisel Kaffe program. We didn't anticipate doing this so quickly, but just maybe an off-the-record comment here. Sisel Kaffe has just blown us away with how well it's been received. We've been struggling and working hard, literally running to keep up with demand, and it's just just sheer sales volume of what's happening on the coffee side has, and I don't want to say far exceeded our expectations because that makes it sound like we didn't know how good our product really could be, but it's been good. I mean, whatever we hoped would happen has happened and then some. So we're in a very good position to go ahead and start recognizing some of the great leaders all over the United States that are already reaching these levels in the coffee, which is coffee sales. So we're starting, and you'll recognize these numbers if you're used to the star program over in Sisel. We have the 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, so forth. Here we start at Star Sapphire. The way you reach Star Sapphire is 7,500 total downline volume. And I do want to make a note here, and I do apologize for this. When I mentioned 5 platinum legs, it must be 5 platinum legs that have the platinum distributor frontline to you. So it's essentially 5 level 1 platinum distributors would be a better description, and I will update this slide as quickly as I can. But please note, 7,500 total downline volume. That's everybody in your group, and 5 platinum frontline distributors is what that should say. Okay, and that the 5 platinum frontline distributors is for all the ranks, and then you go up 20,000 for emeralds, 50,000 for ruby, 100,000 for diamond, and 250,000 for brilliant diamond. And this is great. We're going to start recognizing people at these levels. We're going to see this. We're going to have some very good recognition. We even have magazines coming out, this and that, and lots of coffee materials where you're going to be able to read about some of these pioneers on the coffee side for Sisel International. So I'm excited to make that announcement. Along with this, I want to bring up the Infinity bonus, which I didn't cover originally when we did the direct commission. The Infinity bonus starts on level 7 and will pay you up to 5%. And there's from some of the previous information to where it's now tied to the ranks. And so here are the ranks and how the infinity bonus is now tied to the ranks. And what does this do? Well, there's a big reason for this. And the way we did it when we very first had coffee available is the way you got the 5% on level 7 and below was simply having 5 qualified legs, the same qualification for being paid 6 levels. What happened? It was so easy. You literally got the infinity bonus with 5 people in your group. And so everyone was getting blocked. So the infinity bonus, and if this, doesn't matter to you, I'm just going to go over this quickly. But the infinity bonus had essentially become just another 5% on level 7, which is nice, but it's not rewarding the depth. It's not really turning into the leadership bonus we intended for it to be. So by tying it to the ranks now, sure, it's a little tougher to get. You need to have 7,500 in total downline volume. But now you're going to get a 1%, and it's not going to be blocked by your level 1 people. So it's going to go well below level 7 as you build your group out, and you're going to get 1% much deeper than just the 5% on level 7, and then there it stops. So this 1% will go deep. The other cool thing by splitting it out this way is when you get to the ruby or diamond, for example, and you're making 3 or 4%, and someone does come in there in your downline, level 1, 2, 3, wherever, and they qualify for Star Sapphire for the first time, they're not going to block you completely because you were supposed to get 4%, now they're getting 1%. You'll still get your 4% through 6 of their levels, but then when they start getting the 1%, you'll now be able to share the infinity bonus, and you'll still get 3% on that. So it's going to allow a lot more infinity bonus to get paid out, and as you build your group and you go well beyond level 7, there's much more buy-in here for you as a distributor, knowing that you can get paid deeper in your organization. You're not as worried about getting blocked right away, which turns the infinity bonus into simply just a level 7 payout. And hopefully that makes sense. That's why we made the change. And it gives the ranks some meaning now. As you want to strive for these levels, not only will it give you the infinity bonus, which is, again, the big check comes from the direct commission, but as you hit these downline volume milestones, you will see your total monthly payout just really start to blossom. It'll get much bigger. And then, of course, you have the added perk of the infinity bonus, which is nice. And just one more time, this platinum legs thing, it should say 5 platinum frontline or level 1 distributors, just to clarify. So now our chart looks something like this, okay? And we'll make sure this is available to everyone. We have a new Kaffe brochure that we'll be putting in everyone's orders here in a couple of weeks. And where there's going to be a lot of materials coming out on the coffee side, including a distributor kit, a magazine that includes flip charts, a DVD, so on and so forth. So it's going to be really exciting as this whole program continues to roll out. Of course, not to mention the coffee varieties that are still to be produced. The weight loss is in the testing phase right now. The first few have been produced, and it's being tested by our labs. Make sure everything's in line there, the way it's supposed to. Of course, following our Sisel safe procedure. And then in the next few weeks, you'll be able to see the purchase the weight loss variety. We have the Kaffe cups coming, the coffee maker, of course, and Tom Our Sr. has even mentioned hot chocolate coming down the road with the same extracts we put in the coffee. So little tangent there, but as this whole program continues to roll out, hopefully you can see now that it's a much fuller, much more robust compensation plan. And it's the up to 5%. The infinity is based on the ranks. The ranks are based on total downline volume. And why the 5 frontline platinum distributors? Well, we really want people to understand that the platinum level is what maximizes all these payouts. And imagine that we're trying to help you take as much money from us as possible. So if you think about it that way, I mean, we should be telling you to just be bronze and buy a lot of coffee, and we're happy. Sizzle gets money. We don't have to pay you very much, and we move on. But no, the fact of the matter is we want to be able to recognize you as brilliant diamonds. We want people to move up the ranks. We want to see your checks grow. And we want you to get as much from Sizzle as possible. We want this plan to be talked about all over the world as something that most companies can't even think of doing because they have additional costs paying a manufacturer, paying a shipper, paying distribution centers, so on and so forth. Where we make our own product, we can jump some of these hurdles and essentially cross out steps in the typical distribution model. So that's exciting. Now here's my last new announcement for the coffee plan. We have what we're calling the Cafe Business Builder Packs, and we wanted to call it the High Five Team Building Pack. That's something that may be tweaked before our actual materials are printed. But essentially, what we're calling this thing is a business builder program. Now, as you can see here, the 45% and the 5 for Fast Start bonus is still intact. We're not replacing that by any means. In fact, it's been really well received all over the world. People love the 45%. What we're doing here is simply creating an option for the more aggressive network marketer that is connected to people who know large amounts of people, and they all want to come in and kind of make a movement together. And this works really well if you implement it as a team system. This does not affect anything but the payout on the packs themselves. That's the best way to explain this is we have 3 new packs that simply pay out differently during Fast Start bonus than all the rest of the purchases you could make on the coffee side. That's all it is, just 3 packs that pay out a little differently. And there is a value and power to this. Again, if you happen to come across that one person that says, hey, me and my 2,000 people in XYZ company, we're a little frustrated with how things have been going. We love what you're doing with the coffee. In fact, we drink coffee every day, or our company is a coffee company, whatever it might be, what's in it for us to all jump ship and come over together? Well, this payout system allows you to get paid 5 levels deep in Fast Start bonus. So the percentages are lower than the 45% to the enrolling sponsor, but then the other percentages go deeper. They go 3 levels deeper than the traditional 45.5 that we've been using. And again, this is just on these packs. So let me explain this. Let's say I bring in, Michael, and Michael wants to come in, and he knows 100 people. They all want to come in, and he's going to structure in a 5x5, to max out the plan. Or let's say he knows 500 people. Whatever it might be. So I'll go ahead and put in Michael here. I'm going to get 37.5%. That's going to come out to $300. So as we talked, if you remember, we talked about BV, and on the coffee, the BV is about 80%. So the $1,000 pack has 800 BV, and at 37.5% Fast Start bonus, it's going to pay you $300. So you still get a good amount of change up front. You get $300, but look at what it's going to do. So now Michael brings in his first 5 people. You get 5%. Then those 5 people bring in their 5 people. You're going to get 5% from them, which on the standard enrollment, you're not receiving that 5%. And then they're going to bring in people, and you're going to get 5%. They're going to bring in people, you're going to get 5%. So all this does is if you're using the PAC program, it allows you to get paid much deeper on Fast Start bonus, and it creates weekly income from deeper down into your organization. Okay. The Pro Pack, which is a $500 pack, pays a little bit less to the sponsor. It's about 25% to the sponsor, but it still includes 5555. The starter pack is $250. It pays 15% to the sponsor, but it still has the 5555. And what's the point of having the reduced payouts to the sponsor? Well, if you're doing this pack program with an entire group or with your team or whatever it And if any of you are having the question, is the 5555 different from some previous materials that have floated around? Yes, it is. So these are the correct payout percentages, and it's allowing you essentially to present Sisel to a large Sisel Kaffe to a large group of people that intends to come over at the same time. If that's not your cup of tea, then don't worry about it. You keep doing what you're doing. We haven't changed that. But it is a new weapon you have in your arsenal, if you will. It's a very valuable. There are other companies that do coffee with very intricate pack systems, and you can rest assured that the Sisel Kaffe pack program it does trump those other options out there from our competitors. So it's very 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 interesting, and it is a new announcement that we're making this month with the pack program. You'll see these packs in the back office. We're working on tweaking the description of them a little bit. I think it does mention the fast start bonus, but there need to be some corrections made, and we're aware of that. We appreciate your patience as we roll this out. But again, the big perk here is you're going 5-5-5-5 deep into your organization as new people come in. You're getting fast start bonus from levels 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that's the whole point of the pack program. As we look at this, where we have all these streams of income, we do believe that we have the best compensation plan out there when it comes to sharing coffee with other people. And I'm just going to give you an example here of the power of the pack system. And again, by no means am I telling you have to push these packs, but it's $1,000. If everyone's doing $1,000 and you're building a 5x5, that's simply 5 that bring 5 that bring 5 that bring 5. You see what happens here. You get $1,500 from your 5 people. That's $300 apiece. Then you're going to get 5% from the next 25 people on level 2. It's going to give you a cool $1,000. Okay, and that's equal to right at this point you're a little bit behind what the 45.5 would pay you. But then look what happens on level 3. As the 25 people bring in their 5, you're getting 100. You're getting 125 people doing 5% on the $1,000 pack. You just made $5,000. And as that goes to 625 on level 4, you're now at $25,000 a month or a week or however this is rolling out for you. And it does mention the 2% down there, and I'm excited to announce that that's actually a 5%. So that this little chart here just needs a quick little update. And if you're actually doing 3,125 people, and they're all doing 800 BV of coffee, and you multiply that by the 5% instead of the 2, it's actually $125,000 that would come in on the weekly basis, assuming over 3,000 people join Sisel on that level. And of course, these charts aren't going to work out perfectly. What you'll see is not all of the 25 will bring in their 5, but hopefully you can see the power of this, where on the standard 5x5, meaning you're just doing the 45.5, and they purchase $1,000 of product. Sure, you're about $300 ahead after the first 2 levels, but then you don't get a fast start on level 3, 4, or 5 with the standard enrollment. So that's why we point this out. If you know a large group that wants to come in and you're able to make those connections, there is a lot of money to be had. Again, that level 5 should reach 5% and $125,000. So that's the deal. That's all this is. If the pack system is not for you, that's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. We've had tremendous success with the 45.5, and people do love the 45%. I mean, you share coffee with 2 people, and they buy what you buy, and you just made 90% of your initial investment back. So there's a big power to that. There's also a power to be able to present this to large groups of people. We're starting to see that all over the country. We're starting to see people from other companies notice what we're doing, and they're becoming very interested in bringing their teams over to Sisel Kaffe. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And before I share this PowerPoint out, I know many of you are probably going to email or text and asked for this presentation. I will fix that. And as for the reporting, we'll go in and fix this reporting and make sure it's entirely accurate. We do want this information to be out there. Last but not least, we have the luxury car bonus, or luxury bonus as we're calling it. That remains intact. And it's funny, I usually point out, you're probably not going to end up with this futuristic-looking car that may or may not exist. I don't even know what that is. Some of you car enthusiasts may know what prototype that is. But the whole point here is that you're going to get some extra income to help pay for the car you want to drive. Once you start making Sisel Kaffe commissions at the $2,000 a month level, that includes Fast Start, that includes Infinity, that includes direct commission. It's all your commissions put together for the month. You reach the $2,000 level, and you're going to make $300 in the car bonus. You do $3,000, it goes to $5,000. You do $4,000, it goes to $6,000. You do $5,000, it goes to $750. And that is going to remain intact regardless of what your rank is. So we're excited about that. And folks, I mentioned the auto qualification. If you're doing Sisel, you do not need to do another $200 in the coffee. You simply do $50, and you'll qualify at whatever level you are in Sisel, whether that's gold or silver. Of course, below that, it's not much of a sell here to you anyway. But at the platinum level, it's paramount. Instead of doing $400 a month, you can do $250 and qualify as if you were spending $400 a month on the two programs. So real cool announcements today. I'm excited to be able to go over this with you. The key to coffee is letting people try it. It's a little different. Some of us have gotten used to our products that take 2, 3, 4 weeks to actually see an effect, and you will see an effect. For example, Sisel's Triangle of Life. You start taking that thing. For some people, in as little as 3 days, they're already noticing a difference. Coffee is a little different. In about 3 seconds, the people you share it with are going to already have an opinion on it. So you always want to carry samples with you. You want to buy some coffee for yourself, of course, and make sure you have enough coffee to share with others. That's where the 45% becomes very important, because as people buy 1 box here, 2 boxes there, you're getting your money back on a weekly basis rather quickly. Okay, and it's important to sample. We can't stress that strong enough, and that's why we've done the boxes with the sachets, and everything looks really nice and professional and everything. In fact, if you were even interested in selling the sachets, the individual sachets do say not for individual resale, but that's because they come in a box, and the sachets don't have the nutritional info on them. But let's say you had the sachets on a stand, you have a box there, so people can look at the ingredients if they want, and you're selling these sachets $1 at a time, you're actually netting about $11 a box, where you get $30, and the box costs you $19. So we feel like we've done a very good job on the pricing, of course, considering that we are using 100% Panama Bouquet geisha beans in our coffee, and we're not blending it with other coffee beans. This is what's in our coffee. Our bag of 12-ounce ground is comparable to what would cost $70 to $120 at a specialty coffee shop, and we firmly stand by that declaration that you are getting premium coffee. And why can we sell it at a third of the price and still pay commissions on it? That's because we make it ourselves in that beautiful manufacturing facility I showed you a little bit ago. So that's our Sisel Kaffe program. On this particular webinar, I'm sure there are questions, and there are different things people would like to bring up. But I would encourage you to go ahead and, if you have specific questions for me, I always recommend talking to your upline first. If you want to come directly to me, that's great. I'm more than happy to answer questions. It's my email is simply F as in Fabian, LOSO @SiselInternational.com, and I'll type it here on the chat board. I'm happy to answer questions in that manner. Okay, FLOSO @SiselInternational.com. I just put it literally infinite levels. We're excited to introduce the PAC program that you now have at your disposal to present to people that you know that may be connected to 50, 100, 2,000 people, whatever it might be, and that's the Sisel Kaffe. If you're tuning out at this point, I wanted to thank you for being on. I am going to go ahead and maybe in the next maybe take another 30 minutes here, 35 minutes, and go into the Sisel plan, which we're all quite familiar with. But I do want to make sure I explain that as well in its entirety. So if you're saying goodbye, thank you. If you're staying on,